Huzzah and well met to all of my supporters, friends, students, pupils, and however you'd like to be addressed when you see my videos. And since I know that this is going to be a shorter video, just building on a couple of things that we've learned in the past, I would like to take a moment to say thank you for all of the support last weekend on my post. A few of you left some thumbs up, and there have been a great deal of new subscribers to the point that we are up well above 200. I appreciate that. I suppose ask and ye shall receive. And most of my videos have been surpassing 200 views, which, if you had told me that would happen when I first started this, I wouldn't have believed myself, or believed you if you told me. So it's pretty exciting. I know it's not the millions of views that some videos get, but that's alright. I am just happy to be helpful to those who find it helpful. Concerning what went on last weekend, as I said in my post, spent the whole of it, and I really do mean the whole of it. When I got done working Friday, I almost immediately went to my church and was drumming with the band for leading worship from Friday night until Sunday morning. So that was quite the experience. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate all of you being patient as I completely wore myself out doing all that said drumming and was unable to get a video out to you. But that's enough about my life. Oh, no, it's not. To address any of the medical concerns that had been going on for the past couple of months, all of them have been resolved. My family member who needed non life threatening emergency surgery has recovered fully and is back to work, and I myself am back to work after my diagnosis of sleep apnea was since removed after more testing. Uh, so that's fantastic news. I appreciate any of your positive thoughts and prayers that came my way, and looking forward to sharing much more with you guys. I am excited to get back into this because the next video is going to be even more advanced rail unloaders. But today I just want to talk about some of our high speed unloaders, and I will link the videos necessary for this in the description. If you haven't watched our Minecart Basics, you might want to do that, though it is very basic. If you have not watched basic Minecart Unloaders that feature here, you might want to do that as well. And finally, we have talked about high speed uh, hopper lines, which only work vertically, and I will link that video as well. So there's 3 videos you might want to watch. If you're watching in the playlist, they'll have all been played before this video. I'll make sure of that after I post this. But let's get into it. These have been our automatic loading systems. They're not super reliable. They're just here to be a placeholder. We will talk about smarter loaders in the future, but it's not very necessary to have them working perfectly right now. But what we have here is these are very basic unloaders, and these are much higher. You can see that drains pretty quickly because we have a minecart with hopper underneath these solid blocks. When our minecart comes here and touches this activator rail, or I'm sorry, a detector rail, it uses the comparator to see if there are items in the minecart with hopper. If there are, our comparator activates, which turns this torch off, which depowers this and closes our fence, trapping our minecart. And because it is situated over top of this minecart with hopper, it will drain the items out of that very, very quickly. You saw at the tail end of that last stack of redstone blocks, it was pulling down quite a few, much faster than a regular hopper. This minecart with hopper sits over top of two regular hoppers pointed into each other and into a chest. And if you've been keeping up with my videos, you know that a hopper will, or a hopper below another hopper will attempt to pull an item down before an item is allowed to go sideways. So what we have is basically two hopper lines pulling from this minecart with hopper and placing them into this chest. And we'll do it again just so you can see how fast they get loaded into the very bottom chest. So that basic loader does work, and you can see that's very quick. It is not quite as quick to have them being deposited into the chest, but quick enough. You would have a very hard time overloading this system because a minecart with hopper only has 5 slots. You may get a bottleneck here if this one can't be offloaded fast enough, but this one is losing items 2 per tick or 2 per action, and then they're being placed into the chest. This one uses a gate to trap our loaded chest when it gets into place. And because it uses a redstone line, you cannot put these directly next to each other. They are not tileable, as many people like to use in the Minecraft world. That hasn't bothered me as much because Minecraft worlds are huge, and if you need more space, dig out more space. But sometimes space constraints are a thing. Oh, that was so fast I didn't even finish talking for demonstration purposes. We'll do it one more time just so you can see. And it is much easier to just put it in the hopper and let it be loaded than to try and load it into the cart before it scoots away. So you've seen how fast it was unloading from our traveling cart, and even that's moving fairly quickly. With 2 loaded at a time, our stack moves, well, at half the time it would have taken any other of our unloading systems over here. The reason that we use these is to use the ones with the gate, or later you'll see a piston, is we want to hold the minecart specifically in a spot that it will be over top of the cart. And the hitboxes will be lined up properly because this can pull an item directly through these blocks. I don't know if it will work with the rail on top, but we'll try just for demonstration purposes. Oh, yep, not a problem. Pulled it right through, and down it went. So that's really all there is to this, is a detector rail and a comparator. Works the same way as a comparator checking inside any other container. So we see our signal comes through. If our comparator lights up, it depowers this torch, depowering this concrete block, depowering this redstone dust line, depowering this block, allowing our fence to shut and catching our minecart in place. This is a different setup for catching the cart, which is a little more resource intensive, but otherwise the exact same setup for draining your items. It will go at the exact same speed, but this one uses a piston to trap our cart. Same sort of setup is a detector rail catches our cart, or our cart is caught in place because the comparator detects items inside, not for very long, depowers this torch, allowing this torch to power on, which powers this repeater, powers through the block, powering the piston and extending it. Once again, our minecart with hopper just pulls items directly through this block. We have the same hopper set up so that everything is deposited into the chest just as quick as can be. Or is it as quick as possible? Because here we have a 4 times speed setup. This is the exact same circuit with the piston, and I suggest using the piston just because I find it more reliable than the gate, but either one works. If you're really hurting for, say, iron, it might be harder for you to get your hands on some pistons. Gates are made of wood, much easier to get a hold of, and this uses more torches and a repeater instead of just dust, so that's you know, whatever your world is in need of, they should work just fine. Like I said, the gate setup can't be set side by side because the dust will um, interfere with the circuits next to each other and they won't power the blocks properly and the gates won't shut when they're supposed to. Use the piston if you need these to be side by side. This one is a little tougher because how do you get to the chest if you have them side by side? It's a little harder to reach the box. You might have to set yourself down and click the chest past the hopper. That might be tougher for mobile players to do because aiming, or I'm sorry, on console is a little tougher than using a mouse and keyboard. But we'll demonstrate just how quick this can be. We'll load that minecart up. And once again, when it hits this detector rail, our comparator will find the items inside. And here we've used honey blocks to help center our carts. You can see that's just draining as quick as can be. And already we're nearly, there we are. Hardly had time for 2 sentences before all of our items were moved into the chest. We have the same setup for hoppers as over here, but we've mirrored it so there's 2 of them. Use honey blocks. I think you can use a slime block in place of this and just push the cart as far into the honey block as it goes, then place the other cart and they will push against each other to get centered properly. And because the hitbox is just a little bit over our outer hopper here, they can be unloaded into both hopper lines and sent downward to the chest. And that's really all I have for you this time. The next video is going to be combining our our minecart with hopper unloaders with our dispenser unloaders so that you could have your minecart's contents all emptied into a water stream and sent to a sorter that way. But most of these, we've learned the building blocks and are now learning how to combine everything into a more advanced or more robust system. These ones are fairly straightforward, not a lot to interfere with, but we will get to a point where we'll have to talk about keeping our redstone circuits separate from each other so that we don't activate the wrong thing at the wrong time. So, once again, I just want to say thank you to all of you for the support you've shown and prayers you may have sent, and I appreciate all of you. I hope to see even more subscribers and more views as we go, and I do not know if there will be a video next weekend. I will try, but I may end up working for the weekend. So that would be a damper on that plan. But stay tuned, there's more to come. I am the White Sun Paladin. I hope you are blessed on your next quest, and I'm off to my next adventure.